Hey there, Leo, sun, moon, but especially rising. December is going to bring you money, honey, as you work harder than you normally do to achieve financial results. Well, you're also tending to your health. And at some point during this story, you may even have a bit of what I like to call chunky money show up on your doorstep. Let's talk about that for you this month ahead. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I use the tropical Western zodiac. I'm a Hellenistic astrologer, but I also dabble in all kinds of astrology. I love the minor asteroids, and you're going to get what is very useful, hopefully predictive tools here and ways to navigate the future, in this case, the month of December. So if you're a Leo rising, especially, but sun and moon secondarily, rising is always the most accurate. Oh, and if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. All of you Leo people have been under squares from the current eclipse cycle. So they're square, the eclipses in Taurus, Scorpio square your identity, square your first house, square your sun and moon. So you got this kind of collateral turbulence from the eclipses that started in earnest here in the January of 22 through to July next year. So my condolences, it's not easy. That said, I would say that this sky of December is going to offer some softening as things start to lighten up, especially if you've been stressed out as in a significant other relationship, business, but most likely significant committed love relationship. Saturn has been moving through that part of your sky for 2.5 years, but was getting a lot of jolts from Uranus during 21 and into 22, where you could have experienced really uncomfortable disruptions in that significant other relationship. Now that's waning and loosening up a lot in December. And it's being replaced by some serious blessings in the sky from Mars, who's moving through the sign of Gemini and in a really sweet way, trying to flow some goodness toward the significant other stories in your life. Now, Mars is retrograding, and therefore it's really about going back over old ground, especially as it pertains to your significant relationship and the groups of people you like to hang out with, your friends and social circles, and maybe trying to assess if any of that is really working and compatible as it should be, or what's really not working in that way. In fact, you may have to go back over old ground with friendships and even decide if they're working in your life as well. Now, one of the other things I want to point out for you as a theme every single December is you get a constellation called a stellium of planets all chunked up in Capricorn. That's going to be that Mercury, Pluto, Venus, then eventually Sun and Moon, all, and at this time, Hygeia, the goddess of healing's there as well. So you end up with this huge weight of energy in your sixth house, which is your work, the things you're doing in your workaday world. I mean, if you're employed, it's like the office and colleague space. And if you have your own business, it could be the habits and the ways you do the work. Like, I sit in front of a Zoom, screen and talking to a mic, talk. By the way, thank God for tea. I'm becoming a teetotaler. Your work is picking up. You're busy as all hell. There's no doubt about it. A lot of Leo risings in particular are working their ass off in December. You've never been busier. You're just so busy, but you're bringing in money. Your boss babe shoulder pads are on. Venus and Capricorn here. You have passion for what you're doing. Cupido is there. Pluto's been transforming the work you've been doing since 2008, trying to get you to go deeper into something that brings you a sense of power and empowerment. If you have any health challenges that have been bothering you, having this benefic Venus moving through this sixth house of sickness is really useful for you. Now, Venus gets into this Capricorn stellium on December 10th to January 3rd. So December 10th onward, smoothing out of the health challenges, more friendliness in the workplace, maybe a perk, a raise, promotion, or bonus. Venus is quite capable of delivering that good stuff to you. And before she gets into your sixth house of health and work on December 6th, Mercury precedes her. Now, they had both been in your fifth house of play, fun, romance, pleasure, and, children and sexual love. So maybe you were gallivanting and having a lot of fun in November as they were there into December 6th and 10th. But now you're getting really serious. No more time for play. You're working hard to achieve what you want. One of the things I would say is that, and you may not focus that much on your children if you have them. I would say that because Mercury will retrograde on the 29th of December and stay in your Capricorn sixth house until I think it's February 1st. This prolonged stay means you're putting a lot of mental energy and detailed focus into things to do with your health and things to do with your work. And this is going to give you a really powerful ability to create tangible results from new ideas and the way you communicate in a practical, down-to-earth way regarding work situation things. Okay. Now, Jupiter has backed into your house of chunky money. That's your 8th house of inheritances, tax rebates, loans, mortgages, spousal money, shared resources with a spouse. He was here, like, for example, in this part of your sky around May 10th to October 28th. And now he's back, but he's only going back over. Oh, did I say that right? No, I apologize. He was back. He was in your chunky money sky, December the 17th, 2021 until around May the 10th. And during that time, he went through your investments, your stocks, your 401k, your spousal money, and or your inheritances. And some of you may have received inheritances, and he's trying to up level and expand the financial part of your sky that's beyond your earnings. And then he's back. Now he's back, and he's only going back in returned there October the 28th, and he will leave December 20th, but he moved direct at the very end of November on the 23rd. And his direct motion is the goodness of December. He's moving in direct motion over 28, 29 degrees of your 8th house. And this is going to blow you up financially. It can extend something that started off in April, May, especially last 2 weeks of April, the first week of May, when he was in the same degrees-based real estate. So go back to what was happening in your finances then, because now it's coming back again for another pass. Some of you Leos may use Jupiter here to learn and educate yourself about, tarot and paranormal and occult mystery stuff, but it is definitely about money as well. And then Jupiter on the 20th of December will move into your 9th house, where foreign lands and travel and academia and book publishing, and those stories can finally be expanded and emerge. Now, Jupiter in your 9th house is a story that goes through till May. So you're only getting the first dribble drabble of it in the last 10 days of December. And there is a possibility, as he is going into the last part of, in the last part of December, he's going into there, that he may be sourcing some power from the goddess Ceres, the goddess of the harvest and abundance, also the goddess with a scythe. She's also good at ending things by harvesting something that's ripe and ready to be harvested. Because on December 18th, she comes into Libra, where she has your 3rd house, where she has not been since the fall, September, October, November of 2018. Now she can harvest siblings here. So maybe a sibling moves away from you, or there's a fruitful, new connection that's a nourishing one to a sibling. It may be about trips and travel. It may be a little bit to do with getting on a plane, train, or automobile to go off to a foreign land, because don't forget, Jupiter will on the 20th enter your house of foreign lands, and he's a big adventurer and loves to travel. And then he'll activate the goddess of the harvest in the 3rd house of travel as well. You may travel with a sibling or a friend or a childhood friend from university, high school, or elementary school, those things. Now, you don't actually have to travel in the last 10 days of the month, because Ceres will be in your travel house all the way through until March 22nd. And then she'll be back again later on, June to September. So, you could very well be experiencing the planning of the travel or the trip in the last 10 days of December. And maybe anytime between then and March 22nd, you're taking the trips, whichever. Okay. Now, it's a funny month because there's not a lot going on in the sky of great note, honestly. So I'm just going to now start going through some of the micronutia of the month and talk about the moons as well. So there is a moon in the sign of Gemini conjunct Mars exactly. That's a retrograde Mars, and that's going to happen on December the 7th. Now, this moon in Gemini is where Mars has been moving through your house of friends and social networks, but retrograde ever since Halloween, like October 30th, and retrograde till January the 12th. I mean, it can mean getting back in touch with old friends, or it can mean the elimination of old friends or social groups. But anyway, that's ongoing. And it could also be the shifting gears of what you desire and dream for your own life. And you're maybe changing your long range plans here. Mars has changed. But anyway, as Mars is doing this journey through your 11th house, there is a moon in which he conjoins at 16 degrees. And the intensity of that cannot be overestimated, because at the same time, Mars in the house of social networks and groups of friends is in a square to Juno, and it can mean the end of a friendship or an agreement, or the end of a business partnership connected through friends, or the end of a financial arrangement with somebody that you are dealing with in business. The square to Juno in your 8th house of other people's money. This is the house of the eldest sibling. So maybe there's a breaking away of money agreements with an eldest sibling, but it definitely has the idea that Mars is trying to break away or square away or change some commitment you have. And it could be about money. It could be about other people's money, something like that. It's kind of hard to parse this one, but anyway, that new moon, full moon is taking cue from the new moon. And you have to go back in time and remember what might have happened in the first 2 weeks of June 22, because that's kind of what's returning as a full moon play out in your 11th house of friends as allies and benefactors and people who got your back and your social groups and all of that good stuff, 11th house stuff. Because there's great gains from your career that can happen, like really great gains from the 10th house. This could be Mars going into a full moon, a full harvest of some financial gain from your career. But the square to Juno could also mean the end of contract or agreement or some kind of partnership as well. All right. December 1st to the 5th, Mercury will square Neptune and Venus will oppose Mars. Now, Mercury square Neptune is like, let's clear up our mental confusion and fog, or let's communicate without deception and manipulation. Let's just square away how we're going to get this confusion cleared. This is confusion to do with inheritances and other people's money and your spousal or partnership money, business and otherwise. And, then the square for Mercury in Capricorn is like, Mercury in Sagittarius at the beginning of the month is like, let's cut through the dross of what is befuddling you about some money situation and see it really, really clearly, or understand it really, really clearly. Venus opposing Mars is a great romantic, passionate placement that happens around the same time, the first 5 days of December. And, Venus is prone to pleasure and enjoyment and romance and fun and sexuality. And Mars is hot and fiery and the cosmic lover for Venus in ancient mythology. And so Venus in Sagittarius opposite Mars in Gemini. If you are alone at this point, a single type, dating, still looking for love, and you start a relationship under this, normally I'd caution you, but because Venus is going through the house of her joy, your 5th house, it can be very exciting and it can be very passionate and has some stabilization because Venus is also sextiling Saturn. And that Venus-Saturn sextile would say this could go the distance. This could have legs to stand on. It's a Mars trine Saturn, Venus sextile Saturn, that Saturn is pulling it together into something that could be reliable or lasting or enduring. Committed love, Saturn in the house of committed love. If you're already in a relationship, this could bring you together and more closely. Also, watch out for pregnancy. Venus here is a fertility indicator. Nothing like a pregnancy to pull two people who weren't sure they wanted to be together. So watch out for that Leo sun, moon, and rising. December 8th and 9th, the sun will oppose Mars. And that's following up on that Venus-Mars opposition because the sun is trailing, right? Venus is now an evening star. Bottom line, you could, let me think about how that would feel. December 8th and 9th, the sun is opposite Mars, and you could end up feeling like you have to go to battle in a very intense way with somebody else. Like you have to argue your case or fight for what you want, especially if it is something important to you, revolving around the themes of Oh, well, like definitely it could be about your work. Like this could be a boss, a colleague, somebody in power, somebody above you in the workspace. And you may have conflict that you need to engage with. I mean, just sun means somebody in authority, somebody in power over you, somebody you look up to. So just watch out for that December 8th and 9th narrative. I mean, the sun is also in the fifth house of Sag still. So quite possibly you could have a blowout with a lover, a massive fight, or a massive difficult conversation and power struggle with a child. Then we have Venus squaring Jupiter, and that happens also December 8th and 9th. And Venus and Jupiter are two benefics, and sometimes even a square between them produces good results. Jupiter is still, back ended into your money, chunky money house of inheritances, and Venus is a money goddess. And so the square she's making is from the fifth house. Now, the fifth house is lotteries, gaming, and casinos. And there's no reason why maybe you could win some money here. I'm not kidding you. So if you want to gamble, this could work in your behalf, in your favor. Just don't overdo it. I would say that it's quite possible for you to win money or have a lucky break financially. On December 12th and 15th, the sun sextiles Saturn, while also squaring Neptune. Well, the sun, remember that was the authority figure energy. The sun, is flowing from Sagittarius in your house of enjoyment, fun, play, and pleasure, leisure, travel, sexuality, and romance, inspiration, the muse, and your children, independent business enterprise, all those fifth house meanings, and it's creating a flow vibe of cooperation, harmony, luck, and ease with Saturn. And this could be a legal contract that's working in your favor. This could be a really solid connection to do with a significant business or love partner. And yeah, there is that sun square Neptune, which is to be cautious about something that could be confusing, diluted, or deceptive in the financial arena around business partnerships or your spouse's money that they're hiding from you or something like that. So there's a bit of a twofer deal going on there, both negative and positive. On December the 17th and 18th, Mercury will trine Uranus, and on the 21st and 22nd, Venus will do the same thing, trine Uranus. This is a 1-2 punch. This is Mercury in the sign of Capricorn, then Venus in the sign of Capricorn. This is your work house, work routines, pets, tenancy, leases, and there's and debt you may have, and it's karmic and real, and it's going to be sudden and exciting earth trine to Uranus in your career house. For some of you, this is a sudden escalation in a good way, in good news and good monetary outcomes in career and work, the work path. I mean, it could be a raise, a promotion, unexpected development in your reputation that leads to greater gains in your career. It's just really exciting, positive career development stuff. I told you you're working your ass off this December, and now it's really paying off. We also experience, am I even looking at the camera? Sorry, guys. I'm like way behind here. Like, yeah, I think I am. Anyway, it's one of those things when you're doing these things, you got to look down, you got your notes, and I'm probably just squinting at you. Anyway, I probably should have put the list of shit on my laptop instead of down here. Anyway, I'm losing my thread. Oh, yeah. Okay. So then watch out for a little conflict around what's true and what's not true. Also on December 21st and 22nd, Sun squares Jupiter in your chart. That is going to be again about money and work-related things, or debt and debt-related things. And you may be having to look at debt situations or jointly held monies with your business or marriage partner more squarely. I see that twice now for you in this thing. Also pay attention. December 24th to 26th, Mercury in a very sweet placement in a sextile to Neptune, is very soft. He repeats that December 31st, and then on February 5th. It's three parts of one story. Now, Mercury is going through Capricorn. He's very level-headed, responsible, and dutiful, and trying to get things grounded in business and money and health. And then he sextiles Neptune in your chunky money house. It's mercantile flow, Could be a stock that takes off. It helps you eliminate debt. Could be a credit card reduction, a great mortgage, a cheap price, leasing or buying, renting a place or renting out a place at a really good rate. Those are all possibilities. I feel like also if you're in tune, psychically, Neptune in the eighth house is like I talk to dead people and I channel angels and archangels, and Mercury is the messenger. So pay attention to themes of deep insights from strange places during the 24th to the 26th of December and the 31st of December, especially dreams at night. Mercury and Neptune both involve those themes. Coming into the end of the year, on the 23rd of December is the new moon in Capricorn at 1 degree with conjunction to High Gia. New start, fresh beginning, reset the button. Over the 6 months that follow in your work and health area of your sky, and maybe to do with leases, pets, and tenancies. A new moon here sometime in the 6 months that follow. Bet your bottom dollar some Leos are getting a new pet or a new lease. Then December 28th and 29th, Venus and Mercury co-join in the skies called a conjunction. And Venus at the same time is in a sweet sextile to Neptune. Definitely good for your chunky money. This could look like a really good financial windfall breakthrough energy, or good news about your health. And that gives you a sense of relief, but also because of the Neptune piece, clears up something that was confusing about your health and health situation. This could literally also look like signing documents or finalizing agreements regarding pets or things to do with property, especially leasing and renting and tenants and landlord stuff. December 31st, Venus will conjunct Pluto on New Year's Eve. That's intense. It happens every year, right, around this time, because Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008. Certainly, if you are looking for a deep dive into, raunchy times of deep intimacy or whatever, that can happen. But this is also in your work house, and this is a wealth yoga. So a wealth union between two planets. So you could have a big bonus financially. You could get a bonus paycheck. You could get an end of year bonus. You could suddenly kill it and sell something at the end of the year, make a lot of money. It could be really good financial endpoint as you round out the 2022 hell in a handbasket year behind us. Thanks for listening. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you would like to join me in my Divine Timing Masterclass and learn some ancient and very little known astrology tools, you need to be a beginner, advanced beginner to intermediate astrology knowledge. But come join me in February. There is a wait list for early bird notice, and I do close the doors. I don't like endless people, 2,000 people to come in. So once it's full, it's full. If you're interested in that, just get on the wait list. You'll get early bird notice. The link is below to sign up for that class in my description box, as well as my newsletter, Cosmic Moonshine. Join in and get a whole bunch of freebies and a discount code for a first-time reading with me, and a bunch of other perks by being a part of my weekly newsletter forecast community. All right. I try to make my newsletter somewhat entertaining. I'm having a frizzy hair day. Thank you guys.